Na semana passada eu estive na CCXP 2022. Foi a minha primeira vez no evento e eu fiquei impressionada com a estrutura da Comic Con. Criada nos moldes da Comic Con de San Diego, nos Estados Unidos, o evento conseguiu superar a convenção americana em número de visitantes. Desde 2014, as 7 edições da CCXP reúnem milhares de visitantes durante 4 dias do evento, de quinta a domingo, sem contar o Spoiler Night, que ocorreu já na quarta-feira à noite. Vem gente do Brasil inteiro, tem gente que programa as férias para ir à CCXP, inclusive alguns amigos meus. É impressionante. Como o nome já diz, comic, que significa quadrinhos, o evento nasceu para reunir quadrinistas onde eles pudessem divulgar seu trabalho. É por isso que o espaço Artist Valley tem um lugar cativo na Comic Con e na CCXP ele fica literalmente no coração do evento, bem no centro do São Paulo Expo. Mas o evento cresceu tanto que hoje ele vai muito além dos quadrinhos, reunindo diversos artistas, produtores, empresários e celebridades do mundo todo focados na cultura pop. Tem para todos os gostos. Para quem quer ficar só nos estandes, nos palcos, com as celebridades, nas feirinhas com produtos e, claro, muito cosplay. Para todas as opções, você vai enfrentar filas. Talvez não tanto para tirar foto com os cosplays, mas para as atrações nos estandes e principalmente para o palco com as celebridades, é muita, mas muita fila mesmo. Algumas pessoas chegam a dormir na fila e enfrentam madrugadas para ficar nos principais palcos o dia todo. Haja disposição. Eu fui com minha companheira de aventuras, a maravilhosa Fernanda Correia, a convite do Prime Video, e já no Spoiler Night, demos de cara com um imenso Balrog. Eu vi bem, e esse não tinha asas não. Além do Balrog, havia um espaço com cenários e artefatos de Númenor, Lindon e Khazad-dûm. Havia também um barco imenso, onde podíamos tirar fotos com artistas vestidos de Númenóreanos. No sábado, participei do painel do Prime Video, onde os atores de Anéis de Poder estiveram presentes. Ismael Cruz Córdova, que faz o elfo silvestre Arondir. Cynthia Addai-Robinson, a rainha regente númenoriana Míriel. Sara Zwangobani, a pé-peludo Calêndula, e Trystan Gravelle, o númenoriano Pharazôn. Foi emocionante ver toda aquela multidão com luzes no espaço Thunder, e ouvir a música tema da série lá dentro foi mesmo de arrepiar. Os atores são todos muito humildes e simpáticos. Dá para ver o quanto eles estão entrosados entre si. Depois de saírem do palco, eles foram para o espaço Omelete ao lado e continuaram a responder perguntas. Ainda mais carismático é o Ismael Cruz Córdova, natural do Porto Rico, que arriscou falar a nossa língua e mandou muito bem no português. Escreveu seu discurso para não esquecer, contando que veio para o Brasil aprender capoeira, que ele considera uma arte marcial. E por ser o primeiro elfo negro, ele considerou que a capoeira casava super bem com as lutas do personagem. Infelizmente, ele sofreu muito preconceito mundo afora, mas no Brasil, ele conta ter recebido só apoio e amor. Cynthia conta que a primeira cena de sua personagem Míriel foi ela cega falando com Galadriel. Para Cynthia, apesar de cega, a sua personagem Míriel continua firme e forte em pé. Não se deixa abater. Sara conta que desde criança é uma fã de carteirinha de Tolkien e que entrar no set de filmagem é como se ela entrasse nos cenários de suas leituras prévias. Já Trystan, ao ser questionado sobre o que o inspirou para interpretar o personagem Pharazôn, ele afirmou que o simples fato de ser chamado para fazer Pharazôn já é a maior inspiração. Como jornalista, o ponto auge para mim foi poder participar da coletiva de imprensa do Prime Video, onde pudemos falar com os artistas e produtores de Periféricos, Jack Ryan, Roda do Tempo e, é claro, os Anéis de Poder. Eu até fiz uma pergunta para eles. A entrevista você confere aqui na íntegra. E antes de passar para vocês, já adianto que no final até conseguimos uma selfie com ninguém menos do que o elfo mais carismático da série, Ismael Cruz Córdova. Não tem como não amar, né, gente?
So what's your relationship with the Tolkien books and all the artwork that he produced, the literary artwork that he produced over the years? And the question is about the diversity in the show, and which is very much present. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'll take that then, yeah. Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Bom dia!
É uma honra estar aqui. Desculpem well, my relationship with Tolkien and Lord of the Rings was I went to see the Fellowship of the Ring in 2001, and that just sort of transported me back to my childhood. I went straight back home, climbed a tree. I was 19 years old, and but yeah, it took me to this magical place. I think it's brilliant that we've opened it out to a worldwide audience, and I think it's fantastic because the thing is, with any fantastical world, it is very heterogeneous, and it's important, I think, that we celebrate that and open it up to everybody, and everybody gets to celebrate that together. I think it's a ritual for it.
Do you guys want to add?
I mean, for me, I am new to these books. I'm new to this world of Tolkien. But what has been really beautiful and lovely for me is that there are so many people in my life who have read books when they were a child, and these stories are very important to throughout their life. So even for me, my husband is a huge Tolkien fan, and so when he found out that I was going to be part of this, he was so excited. So I know how much it means to people because it really defines different parts of their life. And now for me, it's defined this part of my life. Here I am now as an adult, and I get to not only enjoy Tolkien's stories, but now somehow I find myself in them. And I think for all of us are up here representing different cultures, different countries. For me, I was born in London, but my mother's from Ghana, and I'm sort of a African American British woman who now gets to represent that in this world, and all of us represent our different countries and cultures and backgrounds. So to me, it is the way forward now. You can't have a fantasy show that doesn't represent the world. This has to sort of be the way it is now, I think. So as a fan, I'm very excited to see that and be part of that.
Yeah, I want to take this one too. I think this one has a lot of meaning for a lot of us. So first of all, with the Tolkien, I read Tolkien when I was a kid. It was very much part of my life. It was the beginning of my love of fantasy. I've got a Tolkien poster. I've got a Tolkien box that I keep my memorabilia in. I've got the works. And then it started this lifelong love of fantasy. But I've talked about before for me as well that I never saw myself reflected in it. I love fantasy so much. I live and breathe it. But just when I was a kid, never saw myself reflected in it. And so now to be part of this new world that we're entering, where we do get to see our own faces and all sorts of faces, and then to sit with my little girl who's 8 years old and get when she I'm gonna get emotional when she sees the different faces. For me, that's what it's about. It's about, oh my gosh. For me, it's about the children who are now going to see themselves that we once were. And coming to a place like Brazil, for me, try my terrible Portuguese, eu adoro estar aqui. In part because I see all these amazing colours and faces that so love what we're doing. So, oh my gosh. So, thank you for your question, because it's really important, I think.
Would you like to add something?
Sí, I'm going to try in Portuguese.
Here.
All the time.
Thank
Eu
you.
penso, né, que diversidade não somente é muito importante estar as crianças, é muito necessário que as crianças possam olhar e sonhar, olhar algumas pessoas como nós, que são representadas de uma maneira elegante, uma maneira poderosa, uma maneira que é muito diferente de todas as imagens que a nossa olhado da nossa vida. Isso é muito importante para essa saudade mental, essa saudade espiritual. That's what I think.
And if you think that it still has more room for diversity in the show, or if you think we're good.
And also, like, how important it is for me to be here.
Yes. Because you got everyone in the audience very emotional yesterday in your speech about being the first Black elf.
terra natal, Porto Rico, tão acolhedor, vibrante, cheio de paixão pela vida. Me sinto muito bem-vindo aqui. Eu penso que yes, há espaço para mais diversidade. It's not, like, I'm going to say this in English, this is not a favor. This is not a favor. You know, sometimes we talk about, muito capital, no, it's the time. It's the time. We exist, we have existed. And it's something that, you know, it's great that we talk about this, but we also dream of a moment where we don't have to talk about this anymore, where we can walk into these places. And the first question is, tell me about your artistic process.
Yeah.
You know? We want to also be seen in a deeper way. And because you have this beautiful question, that means that we have so much more to go. It's just the tip of the iceberg. And if anyone tells you that we made great strides, you know, they're wishful thinking. We've made strides. We are part of a big movement, because we haven't started this, you know. We're part of a huge movement. We're standing on other people's shoulders, and we know for a fact, based on all of your love, that that the change is happening and that it was necessary, and we're just unstoppable. Thank you.
In Peter Jackson's movies, we see the third age. So we see the Númenorians descendants in decay, dwarves too, and we see elves going to the west. We see hobbits in a comfort shire living it for an adventure. So, but now we are playing another age, a second age. How do you see this age, the second age, and how do you deal with the fans' expectations for that?
See them at the peak of their powers, and in others like Harfoots, it is more sort of prototype. You know, it is a bit more primitive than what you see in the third age. So it's very much a mishmash. With regards to fans' expectations, what's wonderful about this, when you go to see any fantasy or anything, they will always have an expectation or a perceived idea in their head. That's a wonderful thing, because then they can see things and they might go, oh, that's how I envisaged it, or that's not how I envisaged it. But what happens is, once they see that, they go back and they think about it, and their imagination runs rampant, it runs wild. And even when they're in bed thinking about it or just staring into space, there's a wonderful marriage of thoughts and imaginations. And they sort of take what they've read, and they take what they've seen, they take what they imagined before that, and they meld it all together. And I think that would be a wonderful experience for people.
Thank you.
I like that they're showing there's more space to show also the layers of each culture, because I think sometimes they focus a lot on, which is fantastic, on the higher echelon of everything else. So I personally, as an elf, personally as a real elf, in my real life, I'm very grateful. No, I like that they're showing all the stages of elvenness. So you see there's royals, but there's also like Arondir that is just a worker, a soldier. So I like that we're giving space to that richness of Middle Earth.
I agree. I think I feel the same with the Harfoots, like that they've really thought about this, where they come from, and the many layers of their culture, and we're still just discovering that. I'm so excited myself to see where they go. And I agree that seeing some of the lower echelons and really delving into their worlds, I think, is what makes our second age really rich and really interesting.
Yeah.
What's that about Númenor?
Yeah, I was going to say, in regards to Númenor, because this is the first time you're even seeing Númenor on screen, so what's a great opportunity for us is getting to, in some ways, establish that visually on screen. And, you know, for people who are familiar with the lore, you kind of know the end point of that. But what's been great, even for us, you know, we don't necessarily know how the showrunners are going to get to that end point. Obviously, they still have to sort of adhere to what Tolkien has laid out, but there are are those opportunities to expand on ideas. Even, for example, the character of Miriel, like when I was doing my preparation, there's a little bit written about her, but that was sort of a starting point. I really had to think about how am I going to sort of really fill out this character when Tolkien only sort of gave her a few lines here and there. So there's a lot of opportunity to sort of like really add, I think, to Tolkien's sort of frame of an idea. And I think because we're doing it as a series, you also just have more time. When you have a film, it's 2 hours. Even if you have a film trilogy, it's a few hours. We are hopefully going to have the opportunity to have several hours to really expand on the Second Age. And, I think it's a great introduction for people who are new to this world. The movies, of course, are there to enjoy. The literature's there. But it's now you can go chronologically. You can look at the Second Age, and then you kind of ultimately know where it goes.
Thank you.
Artista brasileiro favorito. Quem que é? Ah, sim. É uma música brasileira. Meus artistas favoritos é Caetano Veloso, Gal Costa, Gil, mas now vamos gritar Anitta. Vamos gritar, it's so good. La primera vez que olhar para o guitarra foi com a Diplo, é Anitta. I was like, who is that? That was so amazing. So those and there's more that I love, but you guys have so much music, and like there's one that also like the old one is like Sabado na balada.
Michel Teló.
I'm going to extend the question to you guys. Do you have a favorite Brazilian singer or musician or anyone that you might have known or heard in the past? Seu Jorge. It seems to be a favorite. Betty also says Seu Jorge. Yeah.
No, I don't know many Brazilian singers. I think with regards to the football, Neymar. I think my favorite is Dani Alves and Richarlison.
Yeah.
My brother, next down from me, he's younger than me, is mad into capoeira, and he keeps asking me to go. I haven't, but now with this one as well, I'm like, okay, I have to get into it.
Right? Yeah, I have to get into it. He was telling that it's like capoeira is a very musical art performance, martial art. It's like a mixture of things, and it's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
I can't do it, but I don't think any of us.
Well, this time I'll try not to cry. We have tissues.
Yeah, we have tissues.
It's an equally important question in terms of diversity. We talk a lot about race, but there's also gender. There's all sorts of visibility that needs to be seen. And again, I'm going to bring it back to my little girl. When she saw Galadriel having the fight with the Númenóreans, she was so excited. We had to watch it like 3 times. She's 8 years old. And that also is incredible to see in her eyes how that's making her see that she can be just as strong and brave and amazing as Galadriel. With me, she kind of got irritated because she's like, "You're my mama. Why are you making mama?" But playing Marigold was so incredible because she did have her own agency. And I think that's also incredibly important in the world of Tolkien, that we are seeing these women with their own journeys and their own stories. I think it was incredibly empowering. I feel that, I'll let Cynthia speak for herself, but I feel that all the women on the show have just embraced the fact that we do get to have these journeys of our own. We love our characters. We want to see them go far in whatever capacity. Also that they don't have to be perfect, because we see a lot of perfect women in fantasy worlds, and I just love it that they're imperfect. And that's really important as well. They have to be whole people. So for me, again, it's equally just moving and wonderful that we have these female characters.
Yeah, I think, like Sara said, it's really been a gift. You spend your career really hoping to get something really meaty that you can sink your teeth into. And for me, and I'll try not to get emotional too, I thought about all the women in my life that I knew. I said, I want to write a boy. I want to bring that to this role because, oh no. just people that I thought I want to bring all of their strength and amazingness and try to put it into this character. So yeah, I think we're very like protective of these female characters. We have real ownership over them. And something interesting happens when you're trying to bring yourself to this character that also exists on page, and there's this sort of like merging. And sometimes, you know, you're in the middle of a scene or you're sort of in the middle of this moment, and it's, you know, there's such strong parallels to whatever you're thinking about in your life or whatever's going on in the world. You know, for all of us, we were making this show during the pandemic. There was a lot happening, and it was a very interesting thing to be playing a queen trying to lead a people through, you know, a time of great change. So yeah, I think that we take this very seriously. All of us up here have put a lot of thought and care and time because we have such respect for the material, and we just want to sort of do our best to bring something that feels very human. You know, it's a fantasy story, but these are human stories, and I think when people feel so passionate about it, it's because they see something of themselves. They see something that they understand inherently. So I know that's a very long answer, but
as well, that art always imitates life. So it's testament as to where we're going, you know, and that's great. And that art in turn makes us reflect and inspires us. So it's like a beautiful dance that's going in like a really good direction.
The last thing I want to add as well is that yes, these characters that these incredible women are playing are very well fleshed out on the page, that our writers have done an incredible job, but behind the scenes we have witnessed how strong they are and how much they've defended their characters and infused them with as much power and depth. You know, so I've seen you guys build those characters as well. These are real queens. These are real queens that you have here. So we're very inspired by them.
Unfortunately, we don't have more time for any questions.